Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so pleased to introduce our commencement speaker, Mr. Stephen B. Smith. Mr. Smith was truly molded by his time at MTSU and has sustained a long commitment and relationship to this university. He came to MTSU in 1973 as an aspiring walk-on baseball player and a self-proclaimed reluctant student. He met the mentor of his life, former baseball coach and athletic director, the late John Stanford. He was enjoying an excellent career and aspiring to take the next step into professional baseball until July 7th, 1976, his life was suspended and nearly taken in a horrific car wreck, which left him with a dislocated broken hip and a compound fracture of his right wrist. Mr. Smith spent 6 weeks in traction at St. Thomas Hospital learning how to walk again and losing over 50 pounds. That's what he says. Slowly but surely, he recovered and returned to pitch the winning game of the Western Division Conference Championship barely 8 months later, earning him a spot in the Blue Raider Athletic Hall of Fame. His dedication to our school has been consistent, generous, and inspirational. His support of our school mirrors his baseball recovery: intense, passionate, and consistent. But he had left a job unfinished, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Smith completed his athletic eligibility, but did not graduate from MTSU in the 70s. So starting in 2010, in his late 50s, he went back to school. He came back to his university. Mixing online learning and on-campus class, Mr. Smith graduated and walked across this very same stage in December 2011. In between his MTSU sojourn, Steve embarked on a 40-year career in building and developing several thousand homes in Middle Tennessee, and is currently the chairman of the Middle Tennessee oldest family-owned home builder and developer. His civic duties have included serving on the National Planning Commission, the National Parks and Recreation Board, the Regional Transit Authority, and the Williamson County Sports Authority. He was appointed by President George W. Bush to the Federal Home Loan Bank of Cincinnati. He's volunteered his time to serve as the National Finance Co-Chair for Senator Lamar Alexander 1996 and 2000 presidential campaign, and his 2008 and 2014 Senate campaign. National Chair of Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist's Political Action Committee, and certainly Governor Housing election and re-election campaign. He's currently finance chairman of the Randy Boyd for Governor campaign. Steve and his family spearheaded the drive to light the baseball field before any other university in Tennessee to build a new baseball clubhouse now named in his honor. And only a few years back, Steve chaired the $5 million fundraising drive and made the lead gift to build our new baseball stadium named in his father's honor. He's also received the Tennessee Board of Regents Chancellor Citation for Excellence in Philanthropy, and in 2008 was awarded the Jennings A. Jones Champion of Free Enterprise Award from MTSU College of Business in 2010, and was the 2013-14 recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award for Service to the university. So when Governor Haslam passed the Focus Act and created a local governing board for MTSU, Mr. Smith was an obvious choice for the board, and his fellow trustees elected him to serve as MTSU first ever chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, help me give a true blue warm welcome to Chairman Steve Smith.
Got to switch Sydney's speech to mine. I'd like to thank Dr. McPhee's for this invitation and his long-standing leadership of our university. I'd also like to recognize Dr. Diana Rust and Chris Massaro. I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be a graduate without their encouragement and help. I'm humbled to be your speaker, so I'll make it brief. I'm keenly aware, with just a few exceptions, no one's here to hear me speak. Congratulations to the parents, grandparents, friends, and family. Your dedication and drive paved the way to walk across this stage. Beyond the knowledge you've gained, you've proven yourself, your family, and yes, your future employers, that you can stick with it to the finish line. This is and always has been a shockingly rare talent, sticking with it. I am a Raider. I'm one of you. I'm the first generation of my family to complete college. My mother's father was a butcher. My father's father, a Nashville fireman. My dad was a Nashville fireman and then sold Butterfingers and Baby Ruths for 10 years before his hard work and optimism catapulted him to financial success. And it took me longer from enrolling to graduating than anybody here, nearly 40 years. The MTSU permanently shaped my life. Whatever your circumstances or situation, you will be successful. I'd like to share 3 ingredients for success in my life. 1, choose to be happy. Choose to be happy. Practice the unbelievable power of positive thinking. Henry Ford said, if you think you can or can't, you're right. In other words, it's up to you. It's up to you. If you think you can, you will. If not, you won't. It's hard to believe it's that simple, but it is. Back to being happy and optimistic. Find something good in every person and every day. Compliment a friend. Be thankful and happy that your sacrifices and perseverance will provide opportunities for people you'll have never met. Choosing optimism over cynicism is a tough, everyday task and is not fashionable. Wake up in the morning, look in that mirror, and know you're going to make a sale. I'm a peddler. I have to make a sale every day. But most importantly, you make a sale every time you meet someone. It's either good or bad. Make the right sale. Believe what you're doing today will make tomorrow better. It will. It will. There are many obstacles to staying optimistic. Too many to list, but I want to tackle 2 widely accepted harbingers of pessimism and popular falsehoods of doom and gloom. First, America, our country, is more divided than ever. That's not true, it's false, and should be obvious to anyone with sophomoric knowledge of American history. Our founding fathers, Adams, Jefferson, quarreled with each other, accused of each other of every crime and vice under the sun. Sitting vice president shot and killed the former Treasury Secretary Alexander Hamilton in a duel over the banking debt. We're more divided now? Andrew Jackson killed a man in a duel in Nashville, and he was shot at Capitol Hill. less than 5 miles from where we're sitting, 23,000 Americans killed each other. I want to repeat that. 5 miles from where we're sitting, 23,000 Americans died fighting each other. The Great Depression almost ended our free enterprise system. Sneak attack on Pearl Harbor decimated half the fleet, and in one day, the West Coast was braced for a full-scale invasion. In my lifetime, Vietnam, political assassinations, and the fight for civil rights all came together to make us believe we would tear each other apart. Today's problems pale in comparison. What makes our country great is a difference of opinions and the peaceful resolution of the same. Now think about this. Just in the time you've been enrolled, we've had 2 presidents, completely opposite both politically and culturally. I think that's solid proof that anyone can be president of the United States. Any one of you can. We had a self-made man to the left, ultra-rich guy to the right, and in less time than it took you to get a degree, not one shot was fired. Celebrate and enjoy our diversity. The second untruth is that our world is falling apart. Easy to believe when you read the news and watch it on TV, but it's not true. It's getting better almost by any measure. In the last 30 years in this great country, the poverty rate's fallen from 11% to 3%. Homicide rate's fallen. We're spewing less pollution in the environment, and we're driving more miles. Globally, in the last 30 years, we've seen a reduction in the number of wars raging and their deadliness. And the number of people living in democracy has more than doubled from 2 billion to 4 billion. There were 46 oil spills in 1988, 5 in 2016. 30 years ago, a third, actually 37%, of our world population lived in extreme poverty, barely able to feed themselves. And now that number is in single digits. We have a better world. And just in 30 years, polio, smallpox, diphtheria ravaged the world and killed millions. Now they're a small section in your history book. Life expectancy around the world has nearly doubled in 100 years. In 2000, AIDS was ravaging and hollowing Africa and threatening the world with over 10 million deaths. No end in sight. But as a fabulous example of what we can do when we work together, Majority Leader Bill Frist, who's joined us today, convinced our nation to stand by and follow a plan. And we have virtually won the battle on AIDS, saving more than 20 million lives. One man in your presence helped save 20 million lives. Another key is perseverance. Perseverance. In business, friendship, hobbies, sports, all worthy goals, you have to do it. So do it now was a small sign on the desk of a man that I looked up to. Do it now. Put nothing off. It can be finished now. Tell your friends and family you love them now. Take that job offer. Take that job offer. It's easier to get a job when you have a job. Don't overthink what's down the road. It'll come soon enough. Grasp, claw, and grab what's in front of you. Nothing will be handed to you. Yet if you can have it, grab it. You're the master of your own obituary. I worry, and my strength and weakness for those that know me know that I worry about everything. I worry that we might think luck controls our lives, that lucky breaks are the only way to success. That's untrue, dangerous. Sure, luck plays a part, but I know your success is directly proportional to how much sweat's running off the end of your nose. This is true in every life endeavor. Thomas Edison reminds us that opportunity is missed by most because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. It's a pretty good one. The disciplined need to finish your degree is a great step towards the attitude that is required to expect to win. You've paid the price. You expect it. It's not arrogance to expect to win if you've outworked your competition. Every great person I've personally known deep down loved the grind of the self-discipline. And in time, you'll look for opportunities to challenge yourself, and you'll enjoy that grind. And three, and in closing, give something back. We've got a room full of people that have given you the opportunity to be here. Give something back. Be part of something bigger than self. Join a campaign. Volunteer for the Red Cross. Teach a Sunday school class. Adopt a friend from the Boys and Girls Club. Or maybe just bend over and pick up a piece of trash on the sidewalk. Maybe you want to run for office, but do something bigger than self. I hope you've all heard President Kennedy's quote, "That's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." You can substitute school, church, profession. You live in the greatest time in history to make a difference. You live in the infancy, the beginning of the greatest experience in freedom mankind has ever known. You're armed with knowledge and confidence. I expect you to win and do great things for yourself, your country, and your school. Thanks for giving me your attention, and God bless America.